about the easiest way for you to invest in the stock market. Look, a lot of people try to invest and they don't because it's complicated, it's overwhelming, it's confusing. We're going to remove every one of those barriers for you today and simplify this so you can get in the game and start making money. And to have this conversation with us today is Alex Thibon. Now, Alex started WizEst to make personal investing more accessible, more engaging, and more consistent with today's digital platforms and consumer behavior. Today, people think that investing is complicated and intimidating, but what if there was a platform to pair novice investors with financial experts? Well, that's exactly what Axel has done for us today. And prior to WizEst, Axel has been working in banking for over 6 years, managed and led 4 M&A integration projects for banks ranging from 300 million to 15 billion. He led strategy transformation initiatives as well, managed a digital bank and launched another from scratch. So needless to say, he's got a lot of experience. So Axel, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for hosting me today.
Yeah, I'm really excited you could be here. You've done so much. So let me ask you this. What made you want to tackle this complicated world of helping people invest in the stock market?
Yeah, that's a great starting question. And the answer is a little bit selfish, because I would say it was to answer a personal frustration. Because even if I have been working lastly in the finance and industry and banking, I'm by training like a mechanical engineer. So I started my career not knowing anything about investing, but I wanted to start investing to to build wealth for my future and to prepare my retirement at some point. But I didn't know where to start, because if I was going to some free solutions the E-Trades or Robinhood of the world, I didn't know what to buy or what to sell. I was like, I'm going to screw up. And when I was going back to my bank was telling me do you already have 100 or 200K to qualify to get a financial advisor? Not yet. Okay, so come back in 5 years. And so the last solution I had left for me was to go with the robo solutions that we know, Wealthfront, Betterment, and Acorns. But when you are using these solutions, it's almost like a black box. So you cannot choose what to do. You don't have any input. You do not have any human confirmation to be able to discuss about the topic about money, which is still something very emotional for most of the people. And so it's very difficult to apprehend. And so that's why through my career evolution and after working in banking, I decided you know what, let's try to build a solution to answer this original personal frustration I had. And here we are, hoping that we can help much more people than just me.
So what do you think, Axel, that so many people that don't invest in the market stay away from it? What holds people back that you found in this world from investing in the first place?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is we need to know it's more than half of the people here in the US are not investing in the stock market. There is a huge number of people that are not investing, and the reason why it's because it's lack of confidence, lack of knowledge, and people scared. They see all this volatility, all these changes in the market that have been happening in the last 2 or 3 years, for example, and they don't know is it a good time? Is it not a good time? What should I do? If I want to have someone to help me, it's going to cost me a lot of money, so I can't afford that. So it's a combination of factors that make people think that this is not for them, and that's not true. There is always something that they can do in the market, but they just need to find the right vehicle.
So by vehicle, what do you mean? The right way to invest, the right platform to invest?
Yeah, and I would say more than the right platform is the right way for each of them, because it's what we tell people when we have some classes of 101 about investing to some of our of people that we see. There we see the first thing that you have to do, it's not try to copy or to replicate I would say what your neighbor is doing, because at the end each person has his own aspirations, has his own goals, his own financial situation. And so each person needs to see hey, what is my situation? What do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? And then from there do a plan, and from this plan that will let them to find the right vehicle, the right solution, the right platform to invest, and from there I would say one of the most difficult thing for most of us is to stick to the plan and making sure we're consistent, because investing, if you want to be successful, it's a long-term game. Like the crazy story that we hear about, like I would say crypto, or about like meme stocks, are like something that like work in a very short term, if you are here at the right time. If not, like most of the people are like losing money. So if you want to do it like invest in the right way, it's a really long-term play.
Makes a lot of sense. So with your platform, Wisest, what does it do to simplify this process to make it easy for other people to get in?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking that. Like, I would say, like, when we look at like Wisest, the idea was to say, like, hey, look at all the difficulties and the challenges that people have had, and the one that I mentioned before, like when I was myself trying to invest a few years ago, is like first, it's what is happening is like they are by themselves. Then to have some support, it's expensive, and when there is something that is automated, it's a black box. People cannot see or participate in the process. And so that's what we solve with Wisest. And the way it works is like when people come into our platform, what they see is they don't see like a lot of graphs with a lot of numbers and stocks, ETF, mutual funds, a lot of things that are scary for like many people. They don't see that. They see people, and we all are now used to see people in like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and so you can see these people, and these people that we have in the platform are like experts that are working with us, and they are sharing their personal profile, who they are, where they live, their strategy about investing, and then like a few portfolios, like in full disclosure, that they think are like great to invest in. And so then as a user, you can browse like this expert, and we can also like help you to find like the best match for you and your aspiration. And then you can decide, hey, you know what? I like John, I like Mary, and I like Jeffrey. And so you decide you want to follow them. And by following them, you can do two things. One, just like learn from them, because each week these experts are like publishing some posts to explain what is happening in the market, to explain if they do some change in their portfolio, why and what they are doing, and also to explain some basic concepts about finance for the users. So they can decide to do that. But if they want to decide to invest real money, they can. They can open their Wisest account, which is a brokerage account, and like when they invest their real money, what they do is like they are going to replicate automatically the portfolio of like Jeffrey, John, and Mary, almost building a team of like expert that is going to work for them. And so the way they will manage their portfolio is not by managing the ETF XYZ or the mutual fund ABC. It's by managing the portfolio made of like Mary, John, and Jeffrey. And they will see like if Mary, John, and Jeffrey are doing good. And if it's if they want to change, they can reallocate the money they have in Jeffrey to John, or to someone else that will find the platform that they will think would be like a nicer fit. And that's a way to use this human layer that we put in place to make things much more approachable and intuitive for anyone.
So anybody can really get in the market, even a novice investor. They could even start with not trading real money to kind of get their comfortability, get their feet wet per se, before they jump in and start messing around with like real money.
Exactly. Yes. First, they can just come in, just start like following the people they kind of, I would say, determine that could be a good fit for them. And when they feel comfortable, say, hey, you know what? Now let's put like $100 or $10,000 or whatever they feel comfortable with, and here they start.
So what do you do to help them, or how they figure out the right strategy? Because I've had this show for a long time. I think we're like 700 plus episodes, right? So I've had people that come in and insist options trading is best, right? And everybody insists something different is best. So it's so overwhelming. It's like investing in real estate. There's so many different verticals. How do you know what's right? So how does somebody go about figuring out the right path for them?
Yeah, and here we have like a two level of answers here. Like the first thing I would say is like, as we're trying to get in the game, I would say people that are novice or new to investment, we don't want to use like complex products or like products that would be leveraged and having like a lot of risk involved with. So we go with like very simple, like I would say, products which are like the classical stocks, ETFs, and mutual funds. We don't do like option trading, futures. We stick with like the simple things that are like easy to understand. So that's one aspect. And the second aspect is like when you are coming into the platform, you as a user, you will get through a questionnaire to see what is like your profile as a person, the risk level that you are willing to tolerate. And then from there, we'll show you not only one financial advisor, which is the case when you go to your bank. Say, hey, here is like Mark, which is the financial advisor we have in the branch. It's going to be your advisor. I say, how do I know Mark is the best fit for me? And so in Wisest, we look at this matching process to say, hey, here is a list of like 10 to 12 experts in the platform. That could be a good match with the questions you answered. And now you as a user have the choice. You can browse, look at the people that like you can relate with. Maybe they live in the same city as you, or they study in the same like university as you, and you like this aspect, or because they are investing in industries that you like. And so you can, I would say, you have the freedom and the autonomy to do your final choice for your team and for the expert you want to work with.
So how does somebody, and if somebody does this, what kind of support does that person give them? Like what kind of help is there to help them make the right calls and kind of get started?
Yeah, and so here again, like our objective is to make things easy and easier for everyone. And so the way it works is like when you are working with, let's say, John, to pick on him again, what is happening is like the Wisest platform is going to replicate on your behalf the portfolio of John that you chose that you like. And so you don't have to do anything. And if John is doing a change to his portfolio that is going to affect you as a follower, it's going to happen automatically. So again, you don't have to go and do any change or sell or buy any security on your own. Everything is going to be done on your behalf for you. And the way John is holding your hand is because John is explaining what is he doing, why is he doing, was he doing some changes. Maybe I'm saying, hey guys, this week I'm going to buy this and sell this because of this and this reason. Or the next week is going to say, hey guys, this week I don't change anything because this is what is happening on the market. So we need to be like to stay here without doing any specific move. And so it's again like holding the hand of the followers by explaining what is happening and why and so on and so forth.
That makes a lot of sense.
What about the biggest objective is to avoid overreaction, meaning that hey, the market went down like 3 or 4% in the last 2 days. And most of people are going to get scared and are going to sell at the wrong moment. And so the work also of our experts is say, hey, stay calm. This is like a normal up and down of the market. Don't overreact. Don't sell now. Selling low and buying high because it's gonna doesn't make any sense. Again, to encourage like what I was saying before, which is like persistency and consistency, like with the plan that people have.
Yeah, it makes sense because you're really trying to create the behavior for long-term investing, not like day trading where they're trying to get in and out of positions quickly.
Yeah. Day trading is going to be something that's going to be a good fit for people that like want to take a lot of risk with like some play money. But like for most of the people that today are not investing in the stock market, these people do not have like I would say a personality of like risk takers. If not, they would be in the stock market already. So if they are not in the stock market, it's because they are like on the sideline figuring out like, what can I do? What should I do? And so that's why we with Wisest, our philosophy is more like to make them comfortable with a safer approach.
Sure. Safer approach to investing to get in for basically long-term investments.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout their trading with Wisest, they're able to get the help that they need throughout their trading time with you guys, or is it just initially to get started?
Yeah, it's like once you start as a user to follow experts, you are going to follow these experts for all the times you want to follow these experts. So the support and I would say the educational piece you can receive from this expert is going to be there all the times, not just like the first day. It's permanent.
Makes a lot of sense. What do you think of everything that Wisest does? What is like some of your favorite things that Wisest does?
Yeah, I would say for me, like the favorite thing is like the fact that we are like leveraging a consumer behavior that today doesn't exist in the financial industry, which is like leveraging this influency kind of like relationship that we can see in social media, and apply that to finance, and have like people to be able to do finance the same way they do other activities. They can rely on some influencers that are like going to be experts about investing. They can also review the expert they are working with, and that will impact the compensation of these experts. So at the end of the day, we make sure the incentives are aligned. So this like human layer that we added into the game is what we think is like the secret sauce that is like that we like.
Makes perfect sense. I love that. So you have like an example of somebody that's a case study from one of your clients that got in, didn't know much about stocks, and kind of, had some success and where they are now?
Yes. So here, what we have been doing, because we are just as we speak, which is good. Like we are just in the process of launching the platform, so we are like just starting. So the history that we have is with our beta version. That was a simulator, so it was not like nobody was investing real money until now. But like now we are we have like our regulatory registration. We are working with with all the partners that we need to, and we are launching the real activity. But like from what we observe in the behavior of people was that they came into the platform, decided to choose 2 or 3 experts to follow, and what we saw is most of the users are behaving as we were expecting, meaning they do not change every 2 days their strategy. They stick with the expert that they like and they follow, and this way they are they are happy with that, and so and they are also they like this interaction that they receive from the expert, explaining every week what is happening. So that's what they value a lot. And it's more valuing the interaction and the experience than just the pure return on investment.
So when it comes to this, is there a learning aspect? So people that are using Wisest, are they actually able to kind of learn from what they're doing, progressively get better, and then maybe even step away from that coach? The coach will always be there for them, but is that kind of the goal, is for them to learn, get better, and then not even have to really get on the coach? Think, investing is fun and make it easy where they can continue to do so while they're learning through the actual app and not needing help with the coach long term.
Yeah, and that's how we want to evolve. We are starting with this very I would say hand-holding I would say first version of Wisest, but the idea is to have Wisest as a platform and as a solution to evolve with our users and with their needs. And so when the users will tell us hey, you know what, I would like to be able to choose also now a little bit my own holdings and not depends only on the expert that I'm following, then we will add that. It's for us it's very easy to add this feature little by little, and to provide more and more autonomy to the end users. And even if some wants to have a more traditional one-on-one conversation with an expert and have an exchange and not just a one-way communication, we will also we have also in the roadmap to add this a premium I would say service, so they will be able to have this more classical type of relationship.
That's really interesting. What do you think in what about a personalization? So is your platform really about kind of personalizing the strategy for each individual investor to kind of speak to their own comfortability and getting them into the market? Because I imagine a lot of people have different goals, different barriers. Mm-hmm. So what does Wisest do to kind of help with the personalization aspect to make it apply to everybody?
Yeah, and that's the coming back to the questionnaire that I mentioned at the beginning. We say, hey, each people that is onboarding into Wisest go through a questionnaire to make sure that we understand the profile and the risk tolerance of this person, to be able to show to them the expert that could be the best fit for them. And so then from there, instead of I would say imposing one expert to them, we say, hey, here is a number of experts that could be a good fit for you, and now you can be driving the final step of your personalization, which is to find with which person you have like the most relationship. And so if you, again, as I mentioned before, like if you want to work with people that are like living in the same city as you, or that are investing in specific industries because you only want like a portfolio with like a renewable energy, I would say, holdings, this is what you can do to fine tune and have like each user at the end of the day build their team of experts that will be the perfect fit for them.
Makes perfect sense. If I'm doing using Wisest, I imagine if I've got the expert that's helping me, I may want to see what their portfolio looks like. I may even want to replicate or copy their portfolio. Are those kind of things possible?
Yes, and that's what is happening. Like when you look at like the profile of an expert will also share 1, 2, 3, or 4 portfolios that they recommend. And so the user, when they decide to follow an expert, is that they are deciding to follow and also replicate one of these portfolios. So that's the way it works. Like the way the portfolio will be made for the user is by replicating the portfolio of the expert they like and they want to follow.
Is it possible to follow and tap into multiple experts instead of just one?
Yes. And that's like what I was mentioning before, by like you are building your fantasy team of like financial experts. Yes, you can choose like to follow like John, Mary, and Jeffrey, and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna put like a third of my money in the portfolio 1 from John, a third of my money in the portfolio 3 from Mary, and a third of my money on the portfolio 2 from like Jeffrey. And that's what Wisest is going to do. Is going to the magic that we are like doing is like to build this portfolio directly on behalf of the user from their choice.
So I imagine if I'm investing in the market for the first time, even things like the terminology would be confusing. So are the things you guys do to help kind of decode some of that for the user as well?
Yes, and that's the whole reason why like having this human layer, because we know how to speak human. so the idea is to create this relationship between like the user and Mary and Jeffrey, so they can start speak in a language they will understand, instead of like exposing the user directly to like hey, here is like the ETF XYZ, which has like this percentage of like fee and etc. So we say, okay, let's avoid that because it's scary, and let's have like first the user to speak with Jeffrey, and Jeffrey will explain things to the follower, and so little by little introduce and get the user familiar with all the jargon and all the I would say the complexity of like investing and the vocabulary associated with it.
So if I'm doing that, and how do you, I'm just curious, how do you attract the experts? Because your app seems super affordable to use. So how do you go out and even attract these experts that are even willing to share their portfolios?
Yeah, so the thing is that obviously the expert get a compensation for the value they bring to the platform and to the followers, because the platform is like I would say is very cheap, but it's not free. At the end of the day, like in Robinhood, which is free, you are by yourself. Here with Wisest, you have some support, and so that's this support as a value. And so the end users is paying a subscription, almost like a Netflix subscription. Like it's between 10 and $20 a month to benefit from the service of Wisest without any additional or even like fees. So there is no fees for like trading if trading is happening on the portfolio. So everything is included in this price. And from this revenue, it's what we use a part of it to compensate our experts. And the experts like so they receive like their compensation in function of like the number of followers they are getting, the reviews from the followers so the better the reviews, the better the compensation, as well as like the risk level of the portfolio. So the higher the risk level of the portfolio they are sharing, the lower the compensation, because we want to make sure that like experts are not just sharing like crazy risky portfolio, but they are finding the right balance between risk and return to make sure that like they are compensated in the right way, and that again incentives are aligned between the two sides.
So how do you know that the person you're working with, the expert, that I'm using Wisest and you working with an expert, I'm seeing their portfolio. How do I know that somebody that I can trust? Like, what's the vetting process to bring people in that are credible, that can be trusted?
No, great question. And we vet all these experts like one by one, because at the end of the day, we don't need to have like thousands of experts. It would be confusing. So we have a limited number of experts, and we are able, as a result, to vet them one by one to make sure they have the right license, credentials, so they are real, I would say, financial advisors or portfolio managers in real life, and that they have also like experience, track record, and so like if you come into Wisest, like in the next few days or few weeks, you will see that the few experts that we have are like people that have like 10, 15, 20, 25 years of experience in the industry doing the same thing, and having like a nice track record. And so that's like the type of people that we have, like people that we know are like are able to provide this support to the followers.
What's your goal? What do you see happening with Wisest in the years to come?
Yeah, so our goal is like to first of all, like it's to make sure we can reach our audience, which is like I would say all these like half of the people in the US that are not investing today, and to do that, we are like as we speak launching with our B2C solution, but we want to expand our reach by also doing partnerships, and so that our goal is to grow through partnerships, and like the first one we just had sign is like with the NBA team of Cleveland, like the Cavaliers, or they are going to offer Wisest as an additional benefits to their employees, and so like partnering with like corporations to offer Wisest as an additional benefit to the 401k to the employees is a great path for us, and the other path is to partner with like small banking institutions, like credit unions, little banks, and other like little financial advisory firms to offer Wisest as a product that would be in between savings and the traditional private banking or wealth management services, because there is a gap here where people today, when they go to their bank, there is nothing in between, like in between these two. And so and for people that have, like I said, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, they cannot afford yet to get a personal financial advisor just for them, and saving is not the same as investing. So it's to offer this like a solution in between through like I would say a co-branded or a white label play. So that's like how we see Wisest in the future, and growing is like through these different avenues to reach all our audience, and then we'll see like how we evolve the product in function of the needs of the user. If the users want more depth in investing and more features, we will provide that to them. If they want more like classical banking products like deposit solutions, lending solutions through the Wisest platform, like we will also work on that. But the idea is to, again, to deploy these different aspects in function of what the users is asking us. So that's like how is that? That's our plan for now.
Is there a minimum to invest with Wisest?
So you can open an account with like $0, so just like to start following. And if you want to start investing, you can start with like no minimum, again, like $50, $100. However, what we need to mention is like to be able to replicate some portfolios. Sometimes hey, this portfolio you need a minimum of $100 or $150 to be able to replicate this portfolio from this expert. But like in general, it's a very minimal amount that like that everybody will work with no problem.
I love what you guys are doing. Everybody else that's interested in learning more, because we didn't have a lot of time today to dive into all of the nuances and all the intricacies of what Wisest does. What should everybody do if they're watching this and they want to learn more?
Yeah, so if they're interested, like I would say, like they are welcome to visit like our social media pages or website. And here just next to me, like the name, so Wisest, so WIZEST.com. So they can come into our website, again, see like our like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter pages to follow us, and may sign up also to get on board in the wait list, or directly to go into the App Store and download the app. So like happy to get people to do that, and like through the website or the social media, they can also like contact us, send us messages, and myself and the rest of the team we'll be happy to answer people. Like, we are just starting, so we are still a small team, so able to provide anyone like a very personal answer. So happy to do so for our first people that will be interested in Wisest.
All right, Axel, I love it. And I love Wisest. I think that's just the coolest name. So congrats to you guys getting this out and off the ground, and kudos for what you guys are yet to accomplish. Thanks again for coming on today.
No, thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
All right, so everybody, listen, if you're watching this and you have any interest in making money in the stock market, this is the place to start. If you go to wisest.com, there's a lot of information you're able to access, including FAQs, including a blog on all different kind of topics you really should know about, even including SPACs, which is something I'm really interested in right now. And you have a way here of getting in on the ground floor is something that's going to be spectacular and awesome. And the cool thing is here is that I don't know of anywhere, maybe you do, I don't think you do either, because I don't know either, of where you can go tap into this level of financial experts, even see the portfolios to be able to help you get investing the right way. I mean, this is something unique, but I've never seen or heard anything like it before. And it's something that you can actually get started with Wisest, even go to the platform and play around a little without even using your real money to see if it's something that you really want to dive into. Then when you're diving into and investing, again, to be able to come in and tap into experts, see their portfolios, see what they're doing, and then work with financial experts without the substantial cost of financial planners and experts in that area. They usually want you to have 7-8 figures before they even will talk to you. This is a phenomenal way to jump in. I mean, it is a phenomenal way to jump into investing now. So make sure you visit wisest.com. That's WIZEST.com. Ton of resources on the wisest.com site. Make sure you tap into this app because it's a powerful, powerful tool that you're able to break into investing and be able to take investing to a whole other level if you're already investing now. So make sure you take the time to visit Wisest.